What's up, guys? I just wanted to release another video to kind of break down some things we need to work on coming into this week. We had a slightly poor week last week, just due to spring break. It wasn't the best week. We only did $86,100 in sales. I wish we did 86,000. We only did 8,600 in sales. So that's a much slower week than what we're normally used to seeing. You know, we're used to being up at closer to 10,000, but we still need to be above 10,000. Ideally, we need to be closer to about $12,000 per week at a minimum right now. We eventually will need to grow those, but right now I'm just trying to focus on hitting that goal of $12,000 a week. It'll be awesome once we do, and I'll get a surprise for y'all whenever we do. So kind of one thing again I want to just kind of focus on is make sure we greet everyone within 30 seconds of them coming in the door. So, even if we have a line, just making sure that last person in line still, gets greeted by the either the person on bar, just kind of depending on which way the line's forming, getting greeted by the person at bar or the person at register, always making sure someone's up in the front counter at all times. So, like, for instance, if there's only two people there, like especially at nighttime or like super early in the morning, if one person goes to the back, make sure the other person stays up there, and that both people aren't in the back where they can't help a customer or greet them as soon as they walk in. So kind of the big thing I want to harp on a little bit right now is going to be our new food menu. As you know, we rolled that out a couple weeks ago, and it hasn't really super taken off yet, but it kind of needs to, and that'll definitely, again, reaching that $12,000 sales goal, it'll definitely help because it'll raise our ticket average. For instance, if someone for lunch just comes in and gets like a cup of coffee and a muffin, it's like $6.49 or something like that. But if they get a cup of coffee and a sandwich, it's going to bump it up to like $10, $11, and just over time that's going to add up. And so one thing we really need to be focused on is getting to know the lunch menu, getting to know what's on it, what comes in each sandwich, so we can substitute something, being able to help inform the guests about what they want, what they need, and so really be able to give a good description of the food for the people, so when they ask, we can tell them, and be passionate about it. Try it for yourself as well, so that way you kind of know the general flavors. When someone's like, oh, what does this taste like? You can kind of tell them. So one thing we want to do is we do want to kind of push that new menu, but not necessarily do it in a pushy way. So you've seen we have the menus out on the tables. You kind of want to keep those there just for people sitting down, because a lot of the response we've gotten so far is people have been like, oh, I didn't even know y'all did lunch. And so because we really haven't, especially at Hoover, we really haven't since COVID. It's been those 4 sandwiches that are mediocre at best, and so this new lunch menu is very good. It's very refreshing. It's a very healthy take compared to what's around us, because when you see everything else around us, you don't really think, oh, Henry's lunch, and we kind of want to change that with our healthy menu. And so just knowing what's in it is going to be very informative to the guest, and being passionate about it and being able to speak about it. And so we kind of want to make sure every guest gets to know it. So in the morning, during lunch, even at night, we kind of want to draw their attention to the new menu. And so some good feedback I've heard is, we don't necessarily want to upsell like every single person for food. Like, that would be great if they ordered food, but we also, like I said, we don't want to, like I said earlier, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. We don't want to come off pushy. And so, either after this transaction or like after they've ordered their food and they're done before they've paid, just be like, hey, also, have you heard about our new menu? Saying have you heard helps you not sound pushy, but helps just inform the guest. So you don't want to be like, hey, you want to try something off of our new menu? That just sounds pushy, like you're trying to sell it. If you just say, hey, have you heard? It sounds like you're trying to inform them. They'll honestly probably be more likely to buy something if you're just informing them, because they'll feel more welcomed. So just, drawing every customer's attention at morning, lunch, and nighttime, every transaction. Now, obviously, if you're slammed and you're just like trying to go through guests, that's a little different. But, if there's just 1 or 2 people up there, be like, hey, I don't know if you've heard about our new menu. It's got some great lunch items. It's very refreshing, very healthy. Here's a menu. You can keep that, look it over. That's all you really have to say. And then just have the knowledge to be able to answer any questions if someone's like, oh, that looks good. Like, what is that exactly? And so, one thing with making the food, so kitchen, person, and then this was, I'll talk about this in a second, kind of moves into nighttime, but making sure the food is made properly and it's presentable. And so I'm going to release some videos kind of in this style, but well, not really in the style, but release some videos showing you how to make each item. And so that way it gives everyone kind of an advantage point, because I know some people have seen me and Steven make them where other people have not. And so when you're just kind of blindly making it, it is difficult. But just making sure the food always looks beautiful and presentable, and excuse me, that it has the right items on it. Making sure it's made right, videos. And then last thing, so me and Jess have kind of talked about this, and we're probably going to start doing food all day. And so what that means for like nighttime and kitchen, basically kitchen's going to shut down the kitchen like normal, do the normal thing, leave it to, but then nighttime we'll just kind of keep the kitchen open, just kind of not necessarily prepping anything, just making any food that's necessary. So this is important for the kitchen person to make sure that there is stuff prepped in case nighttime does need it. And then nighttime, I'll kind of need to get y'all a little bit more familiar with the food menu, just so if someone orders it, you'll be able to execute that. Because honestly, if everything's prepped for you, it takes 3 to 5 minutes to throw stuff together. It's a super easy menu to work it around and do. So I don't think at nighttime it's really going to become a big issue. Obviously, if we start seeing a massive influx of like food sales at nighttime for dinner, I can adjust the scheduling for that. But for now, we'll just keep doing it at night, because right now it sounds like there's just a couple people that come in, maybe every night, and are like, oh, do y'all have this? Or do y'all have food? And then instead of being able to just give them like what's in the cold case, that's chicken salad and penne and cheese, it's good, but it's not always what someone's wanting. So being able to offer that menu all day, I think is going to be beneficial to some high school, college students. And then lastly, kind of moving forward, I want to make sure everyone have an item, a drink item, food item, coffee that you can either sort of recommend or cross-sell. So anytime someone's like, I don't know, what do you recommend? Just have something in mind already that you can just spit off. And don't be like, well, this is good, or you could do this. Just be like, man, I really love the sweet iced coffee. It's got this, and it's my jam. Just have something that you can really be passionate about, and that will make the customer passionate about the brand as well. I think that's going to be very important, just as people kind of get to know us and get to know our menu. And then lastly, being able to cross-sell. And so what that means basically is, so for instance, I forgot to order lemon blueberry scones. That is on me. And so we've been out for a couple days, and so just if someone's like, oh man, y'all out of lemon blueberry scone, just be like, oh yeah, sorry. Not really saying anything else. Being able to say like, yeah, I'm sorry, we're out of those unfortunately, but we do have our blueberry muffins. They're similar. They got blueberries. Or we also have the lemon poppy seed muffin. It's got that lemony, zesty kind of taste if you're wanting that. Or you have a cranberry orange muffin. That's a good fruity muffin as well. And so that's kind of an easy example. So it's a little bit harder sometimes, if it might come to a different sort of drink or food. But just being able to know different notes of food and being able to suggestive sell or kind of cross sell something, for if we're out, or if someone's not really sure, they're like, oh, I like this flavor. What do you have that's like that? So just being able to match those. That's really the biggest stuff I have right now, is just really harping on our food menu. I'm going to kind of start quizzing everyone about our food menu. I did that a little today with Kara and Philip. And so and there's no like penalty, and I don't expect any of y'all to know like exactly the food menu right offhand. But I will kind of quiz y'all to help kind of get it stuck and embedded in your brain. That way you kind of know, it'll kind of teach you and learn. There's no like, I'm not going to be upset if you don't know it. So, just, when you're on shift, just kind of study it. Same as we do like with beans, just have a general knowledge of what the beans are like, what's light, dark, what's flavored, to be able to recommend those to guests. We kind of want to do the same thing with our food, be able to know what each thing tastes like and be able to recommend it to guests. Um, Please, if y'all have any questions about anything, whether it be food, like please ask me. I'm more than happy to help y'all or answer any questions. I honestly, I love it when y'all ask me questions. It lets me know that, hey, you haven't been properly trained in this, so I need to like help y'all. I'm never gonna look down or be upset for someone for asking questions. So please ask me as many questions as you feel free to ever. Um, I think that's all I really got for this one. Sorry again, it kind of ran long. I meant to do one of this like last week, but obviously didn't happen until today. So we got a little bit longer one today. So I'll try to get these out on a little bit more regular basis so they won't be quite as long, because I know 11 minutes can be a little bit of a video for some people to watch. So in the future, I'll try to keep them down to 5 minutes. Thank y'all.